Diastasis recti. It's a separation in the abdominal wall midline, all right? So we have the six-pack ab muscles. Those are our rectus abdominis. They come down our abs in little pockets, okay? In between them, down the center, there is what's called a thick fascial kind of structure that binds them together. During pregnancy and different strains, that can actually separate, okay? So it thins out and it pulls those muscles apart. So true diastasis recti, it's going to be where there's too much widening there. Now, something to be considerate of, there is always a space between those muscles. They do not attach muscle to muscle. In fact, there is going to be a little bit of space there. And in some research, up to actually 30 millimeters or 3 centimeters is considered normal, all right? But normal looks different to different people. Some people, they might have 1 or 2 centimeters space and really manage their pressures well across their abdominal wall. Some people might have 1 or 2 centimeters gap and really have poor pressure management. Poor pressure management, I'm going to use my capybara toy here. What that would look like is if you are using or doing something rather, and it's creating intra-abdominal pressure. So pressure in the abdomen is going up. Then if it's not held back by the abdominal wall, what that will look like is pressure pushing out the front. And so in the case of diastasis recti, that can actually widen and split that out. It can lead to what we call coning and doming, where that midline actually pushes out. Now, if the muscles are very strong, that might not be a problem because that intra-abdominal pressure pushing out might actually be kind of soft and squishy. So if you are doing something, it's pushing out and you kind of press down the midline and it's soft and squishy, that isn't really loading that tissue because it's not kind of pulling tension through it, okay? If it's pulling tension through it and it's hard and it's pushing out, that is actually going to remodel it in a outward pushed way, okay? Now, why is that important? A lot of people come and see me because they get comments that they're still pregnant. Or they feel like they're still pregnant, or they can't wear certain clothes because their abdominal wall is pushing out and they don't like the aesthetic of it, okay? So if we don't want that aesthetic, we don't want to train that aesthetic, right? So if you're doing something and it's causing that forward, outward pressure, that pushing, and you push on it and it's hard and it's not kind of easily squishy. So like this is squishy, right? I should be able, my capybara works well here. So this is squishy. So if I have that pressure coming, oops, that's the wrong way, coming out and it's squishy, I'm able to kind of push it back in easily, that's not so much of a problem. If it's a hard pressure and it's pushing out, that is going to create more of a problem, okay? Again, that is just for information. There's a lot of ways to train your abdominal wall, but I'm here to kind of dispel some of the fear that people have around diastasis recti and some of the do's and don'ts, because there's actually no perfect exercise. Lots of people do the good exercises actually really bad and it creates that pressure, okay? And a lot of people do the quote bad exercises really good. They're holding that pressure in and it is fine. So it's all about what you're seeing and what you're feeling, okay? And those are the two things that we want to start. All right, so this is just getting started on diastasis recti, giving you a little more information on what we can do about it, but mostly where we can start is just knowing a little bit more about it so we don't have to be as nervous or fearful, okay?